So I'm grabbing the shaman stuff right now to review that. Where is my
I'm
homebrew?
in it. I'm in the shaman spell list on the back page.
No. So earlier on in the class, there it is. It's like, where's my link?
Oh, okay.
So you're running the you're not running the ancestors. You're running the other one, correct? The primal
Primal
spirit.
Yeah.
Okay. So notably is once you reach level 6, so the next time that you get a level up, not a milestone, the next level up, you'll receive your companion can concentrate on a spell for you as well.
Right.
So,
Okay.
like the concentrations, I think all of those are concentration spells, so they're all decently strong. Now the caveat is, if the spirit gets destroyed, you lose the concentration. So things that you would want to consider is where are you going to be in potential combats, and where is your companion going to be in potential combats. Like if you think you're going to play further away, Call Lightning might be a great choice. But like if
Right.
you think you're going to be up there mixing up with Dunnan, Spirit Guardians could be great.
I think that's what I'm going to do because I've done the heavy armor and a bunch of other things, and that's the way I'm going to be able to go in and be more of a tank.
So being able to like wade in there and mix it up a little bit,
Yes.
Spirit Guardians might be the great option.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I pick out a cantrip this time too? Did we get one of each?
So you at 5th level you gain a 5th cantrip, a 7th
Okay.
known spell, and 3rd level spell slots. You get a lot of
Right.
this.
Okay.
You're a full
Got
caster. You have most of a full caster progression, I should say.
Yeah. Okay. I
'Cause
think I'm
you're
going to go with Spirit Guardians.
yeah,
That's just so cool.
yeah, it's a solid spell. All right. Speaking of spells, Willem, did you select your second option for? I know you were waiting until I added the one spell for you before you picked anything else. Willem must be muted. He is.
No, he fell asleep. It was too early for him.
Those 2 minutes mattered. He beat Dunn into the call by like 2 minutes at most.
It's too much for his body.
All right. We'll come back. Aeolus, do you need any assistance on the level up, or you got it all hammered down?
I'm okay there.
All right. Look at you. 39 big ol' hit points.
Yep, and I have a second attack. Woo.
Yeah, and multi-attack's actually pretty big for you and Dunnan.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
All right. Siegfried, do you need any assistance on the level up? Siegfried's also muted.
Hold on. Willem only has 4 less hit points than
Oh,
me.
hey, yeah, I should be okay.
Ah, did you get a new microphone? You sound great.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, this is the mic on my desktop.
it's
Oh,
very
right.
clear, yeah.
It's coming through beautifully.
Yeah,
Yes. Nice.
it's a much nicer mic than my headset.
Use this instead of your headset. Okay.
It was up getting coffee.
Oh,
I
look,
could
he is
hear-
alive.
Yes,
Oh,
I
he's
could hear
awake
everything
now.
you were saying.
I gave you your credit where it was due.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
No, I did select a spell that's on there. I deleted my other. We are good to go.
Okay, fantastic. Before we get into the recap, does anyone else have any questions or help that they need with the level up to 5?
My leg.
Just how many spells
can't help
can
your
I
leg.
know? I always forget.
So
it's
it's
level plus
so
half
for you,
carries-
yeah. So it's your level, rounded, because it's half your level, because you're a half caster.
So 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3. So spellcasting paladin, preparing casting spells. You prepare the list of paladin spells that are available for you to cast. You choose a number of paladin spells equal to charisma modifier plus half your paladin level rounded down.
Rounded down.
So
So
you're
7.
5.
Okay.
So 2.
Oh no, 5 plus 4.
Yeah. So you get
6.
six choices.
Okay, then that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're also gonna have usually at least one free one as part of your oath. Often.
Oh,
Um,
that I have to look up.
yeah.
Both spells are fun.
Because you are a. Oh, I don't need all that open.
Conquest.
Conquest. I believe it's. I know. Fear's 3rd level. Something smite most likely.
And level 5, whole person spiritual weapon.
Whew. Fantastic options. So those are always prepared, and they don't count against that 6.
Oh, so I can take some more.
Yeah.
Cool.
Those are 2 great spells to always have prepared.
Hmm.
Yeah. Conquest. And you also always have Armor of Agathis and Command prepared as well. Your first
Yeah,
level ones.
and I have to take some others.
Yeah. So, it's effectively you have 10 spells prepared, but 4 of them are fixed choices, which is still great, especially when there's 4 spells. All great. All right, let's get into it while you're just doing your spell selection.
Yep.
In that case, then. The group of you have returned to Elderthorn, the Talfa that nearly all of you have called home for months or even your entire lifetime. After the events in the mines far out in the plains and finding this strange crystal growing that was being dumped into an underground lake, which some of you have accurately surmised must feed the aquifer that runs and supplies some of the wells upon which the Talf relies. Perhaps spreading this sickness throughout the farmhands in that area. Those individuals who would consume a large amount of water on their daily chores. You returned. You've left crystals off with Kelpip Snowbeetle, a halfling proprietor of a shop you've not often seen open in your extensive time here, known as the Establishment. Nondescript-looking building with front-facing windows that are blocked by curtains. Does not seem to do any bit of business, but has existed as a sort of just staple of the landmark. A staple of the backdrop for a long time now. You've rested. You've made your reports. You've eaten, drank, including Willem, and begun to recuperate from the horrors that faced you. Unfortunately, your former compatriot, Dunnan, has eluded you. Once they rescued Lent, they were out of there, and had no issue, no desire to stick around and face you one-on-one as you had hoped. Another day, perhaps. We're picking up at the beginning of the next morning. Back in Elderthorn. It's been, at this point, actually the third 10 day since the group of you have been together. So we're moving on to the 31st day. What will you do today?
Well, Danen would definitely eat some breakfast, and then afterwards we'll head over to the Amber Braids.
Amber Braids? Alright. Anyone else go into the Armorers?
I
Yep.
will.
Alright. Party going over there.
Yeah, I got that half plate armor. I've got to have
But Danon has it.
Fix that for me.
Yeah. That was also my bad on that. I was thinking half plate was one step below
It's
plate.
splint.
It's
Yeah.
splint
Yeah.
armor. I've added
splint.
I've added it correctly to the party loot. Additionally, I'm sorry, just a bit of a bookkeeping piece. Helleras, what is your Constitution modifier? It's a 4.
5.
5? Okay. Corwin now has 15 hit points. That's why I ask.
Okay.
And 13 AC. As part of your level up.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I got that updated so it wasn't like, oh, why is everything wrong in the middle of combat?
Okay.
There we go.
So I have 16 AC right now. I've had 16 AC for a while, so I just stay at 16, or do I add to it?
It depends on what you do with the armor. So,
Well, I'm going to be
Well,
wearing
that's...
so the group of you head over to Amber Braids. This point in the morning, you probably all slept in. So it's about 9:30, 10 a.m. As you all make your way over, you hear the sound of the forge before you even round the next corner, and presently find you see Emil working off to the side on something, but the front door to the Hammer and Hen smithy is open.
Danon walks in. Morning, Andre.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Surprised that you're awake.
Yeah.
The
Never
sun's
gets old.
not even high in the sky yet.
Yeah, well,
You don't even look hungover.
yeah. Getting used to it.
I don't think that's a good thing.
Probably not. But I bring some work for you. And I take out the splint armor. And we found this on your recent endeavors, and I would like you to adjust it for Helivrest, if you mean. Emil probably knows her measurements, right? And I give a little wink at Andre.
I don't know if she knows a measurement. You just want it to fit her.
Yes.
Sort of points with his chin towards Helleras with sort of a head nod. Alright,
Yep.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Aeolus, he looks at you and will sort of tag behind to them. Don't touch anything. Comes back from around the counter, walks outside. You two, come with me. Towards Helleras and Dunn, as he walks to the building next door that sort of they share a wall, almost like a duplex. That is the Amber Braid Armor's smithy. Emil, they say you know her measurements. They got some adjustments they need. Just tell me how much time, and I'll set a price. He leaves the two of you with Emil. Where's Emil? There we go. Did it pop up for you guys? There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Morning, Emil. We found, like Andre said, the splint armor, and I would like it to get it adjusted for Helivrest.
Okay.
She's been training with me for a while, and now I think she's good to go to get some heavy armor.
I don't know who I feel more sorry for. You or her?
Well, it's her choice, not mine.
I'm getting pretty strong. I want to be able to get more into the fight.
What
Tired
the
of
hell?
passing from a distance.
Definitely.
She wants to help me out on the front lines. I told her not to, but well, you don't get in the woman's way and argue with them, so...
Certainly not a half orc.
Prove. You should know her measurements, right, Emil? I will pay that.
Need
It's
to
on my tab.
All right. Well, you can square up tabs with Andre. Yeah, let me come over here. She gestures towards you, Helaras, and she's pulls out a looks like a very finely spun, tightly wound bit of twine, not really fraying at all. And she unwinds it a little bit. And she positions you nearby to part of her steel, like an iron or steel workbench of some type, upon which you notice she's cutting grooves, and she starts taking measurements one at a time, and then by wrapping the twine around you and then unfurling it and laying it against the sort of marker stick that she's etched into the edge of her work surface. And as she does, she's writing with like a wax crayon on top of the table, putting everything together. Hey, the work shouldn't be too long. Maybe a day or two. I'll need to, and she takes the splint armor from you, Dunnan, and she starts looking it over. It's not too badly different. I'll need to adjust a couple of things, and replace a few splines that look like they've been hit with someone's skull or a ball of some type that are heavily dented.
I look awkwardly away. Well, yes, maybe.
But I'll be able to get it taken care of course. Go tell Andre 2 days. Done.
All right, all right.
Me too. I think I need some armor that's better for adventure. I've been wearing this one from the keep, but don't you think something black with silver filigree it would be better for me? I would be so dashing.
You might want to talk to Andre. He might have something in stock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. Are there any sorts of leather armor or lighter armor in your stock? Or is that a different store?
I don't really make the leather armor. But
Yeah.
Andre might have a supply, or he can tell you where to find some.
Thank
You might
Emil.
be better at the tanners.
Okay. Yeah. If
As more and more of you come around the corner.
yeah, if Andre doesn't have any Siegfried would head to the tanners then.
By the way, is my audio okay? Had to swap off of my headphones.
You sound fine.
It's a fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Just a mechanical question: do I have to get my armor repaired because I was attacked by a giant crab, or?
No.
Okay.
I assume basic repairs can be managed like in the
Mm.
field, so to speak. Like, I will specify if something actually needs repair, as I have done with weapons previously.
All right.
Emil looks at you, Helaras. Well, you wouldn't be up in the front lines anyway. And she's sort of making some marks on the splint armor.
It's not about wanting to be up there. It's just sometimes I just need to be up there with these people. And she winks a little bit, trying to make it sound like she's one of the most competent in the group.
Sure. Make me a persuasion or deception check, whichever you feel would be more appropriate.
We'll do perception because.
Persuasion or deception.
Oh, deception. Oh, okay. I've got -1 on both. Let's do persuasion.
Okay. All right. She chuckles to herself. This should help significantly. I can get started on it later today, as soon as I finish up what I'm working on. Swing by tomorrow, around sunset, and we can see how it fits.
Okay. I will be here. Maybe not with the crowd.
I don't really like to do storefront facing things. That's why they can all go speak with Andre.
I understand.
All right, let me get back to work so that way I can get yours done.
Thank you.
Pleasure. As she goes back and starts stoking the coals to continue working on whatever piece she's currently forging. Looks to be like a long hook of some sort. You're not quite sure what it's being turned into. It might be some piece of farm equipment. You're not quite sure though. Not your area of expertise. The rest of you over at Andre, so Dunnan and the rest of you, as after here's 2 days. All right, 2 days. That'll be reforging. Provided that she doesn't need to go buy any more leather straps. Be 100 silver.
Which is like how much gold?
10.
All right.
Gold, how many platinum?
1.
Okay. I think I'm
Do you have platinum at the moment?
missing. I have 1 platinum and
Okay.
2 gold and 5 silver. I think I might be missing some party loot in my.
I'll give entry the 10 for Heliver's armor.
The
It's
10
on me.
Do you pay him
Yeah.
in gold or do you pay him in silver?
In gold. I just have gold. Gold and
Okay.
platinum.
Okay. No.
Thank you,
Big,
Dunnan.
big spender done. Where'd you
Well,
get this?
That's what the leaders are for. Well, recent spoils, like I said. Do you care where it comes from? No.
Kinda.
What?
Did you pick someone's pocket?
No. I bashed in someone's head, if you wanna know.
He smiles
Bad
ruefully at
people.
you. And then you pick their pocket.
Yes. Right.
Good man.
But they attacked
Always
first,
check
to
the
be-
pockets.
Yeah. They attacked first, just to be clear here, yeah?
Alright. Alright, and sorry, I heard a little bit of the harassment you were levying at Emil. Leather armor, some frilly thing, as he points at Willem. What else?
Do you have another splint armor for sale?
I do not at the moment.
Do you have any studded leather armor for sale?
I do. Actually, I have 2 sets in. One be sized for some small folk, and one sized appropriately for you. Yeah, semi-appropriately for yourself.
Yes, I'll need the double XL. Thank you.
It's adjustable. There's woven part. Never mind. He pulls out a wooden box that sort of has a flat lid that takes off, and pulls out a set of studded leather. It's made out of the tunic with a series of nodules on it that are sort of wrung together to create this almost mail-like pattern, but they're quite large rings. It's not quite ring mail. That would be much heavier set ones and not together. These are made more so they flow slightly and are wrapped in leather on top of that. It's quite nice as far as their craftsmanship goes. It seems like not as much smith work as leather work, but it still works.
This is very fine work.
It's good. It costs the normal amount for studded leather. Now
How much is that again? I can just look it up.
I should have the.
Oh, you have that stuff in the game. I forgot about that.
I think I do. I might only have the settings.
No, only Gorgons, I think.
Oh, I do only have Golgrons.
Sorry, that's just the details, not the cost. It's 45 gold points.
He gestures it. It's functional. And you see that along the two sides of your ribs, and then following that same line down the down your legs, there is sort of woven thread, almost like a shoelace back and forth, such that you can adjust it. It's set to be on the interior of your legs, such that the exterior is protected. So the breeches go all the way down to your calf, where about just below mid calf, where your boot would then meet them. And they have less heavier rings on it. It's much smaller rings. And then the chest and torso has some pretty gnarly rings on it to help prevent any slashing or bludgeoning and stuff like that.
I just say this looks very nice, Andre, but I don't think I can afford this, unfortunately. Maybe need to come back for it. I don't have 45 gold on me.
You got anything to trade?
I mean, I have my leather armor. That's about it. I have some gold. Like 1 platinum is 10 gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then I have 3 gold and
Yeah.
I have 142 silver. Let me figure that out. I don't think there's 45
That's
gold
40,
between that.
142 is 14. You just moved the
Yeah.
decimal.
Yeah.
So that 14, 3, 17, 27. You have 27
Yeah.
gold and 2 silver.
Yeah, I have 27 gold and some leather armor.
You
He
need
starts
some
going through his
money.
pack.
Secret, you need some money. You just have to ask. I mean, you did a phenomenal job. I'm happy to share my money with you.
I mean, if that's all right, then I thought you were going to spend it on the armor. I didn't want to
No,
assume.
no, I'm fine either way. You helped a lot. You deserve the new armor, and I have 5 more platinum. How much is that?
That's 50
Like
gold.
50.
Yeah.
I'll
He only
give
needs
him
20. Yeah.
I'll give him the 2 platinum. Here you go.
Okay.
Buy you something nice.
Okay, so
yourself
that's
something nice.
2 platinum.
Yeah. That's
I will throw in the 14 silver, 14 gold from the silver on top of it.
140 silver, 3 gold, 140 gold, silver,
Yep.
1 gold. So that's 15 and 3 platinum.
So
You place all of that
3 gold
cordage
is
on the
3
table.
gold is gone, and I throw in my platinum on top of it
Yeah.
for the 2 that Dunn gave me. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you place all that on the table, and he's just watching you guys communicate this. And the platinum actually comes out. After mentioning it, you guys were like, he seemed to have sort of a smirk on his face, and then actually seeing the platinum crowns come out of your pouches.
Well,
He's
we
just
picked some
sort of-
pockets.
some wealthy pockets of that. Be careful when you're throwing this about. People with looser lips than I might talk.
There are people with looser lips than yours. Oh,
People that are more
that's
easily
super.
offended might
Yes.
also.
Yes. All right.
Well, that's why we are loyal customers to the Amber Break
Yeah.
clan. Isn't that
Happily
right?
spend our money here because we know you're tight lips.
Stop talking about my lips. I don't like it.
Surely
All right,
you'll
all right.
be able to find a proper use for this platinum, right?
Are you? And it takes a look at it. Arms kick stabbed. Nice. He takes it and provides you with your new studded leather and the nice pine box it came in. Enjoy. Don't die. Hopefully this
Yeah.
will help.
I will fold up my leather armor and put it in the pine box and put it in my back, and then I will start donning the studded leather.
Sure.
Did you have my handsome armor too? Did you have anything nice?
understand you want something fancy. You said something silvery.
Black and silver. Is that doable? Yeah. You see my wonderful cloak here? And flourishes his, custom made cloak.
Oi?
Can it match this?
You want the armor to match the piece of fabric, not make the fabric match the armor.
Well, I want them to match each other.
Alright, so the breastplate you got on now, is that one of the that's one of the watches?
Yeah, I don't want people to just see me and say, that's one of the watches. You got right to the root of it, thank you.
Well, that's a possessive word. It means it was provided to you by Blackburn Watch. So
Yeah, it was.
Willem, it technically doesn't belong to you, and if you sell it, you're going to be fined.
no, well, it belongs to him once he finishes his 2 years.
Yes, that's how it works.
But it's not as much that, it's more the idea of the reason that they provide it all for you and we make it all for him, is for uniformity. Like you wouldn't be prevented from wearing something different, such as Siegfried here, but you'd run into the issue if we altered that for you, that you'd be standing out in the armor that's meant to make you a uniform. I'd be chagrined because Emil, that's one of the best contracts that we can get. And like, well, I think Blackburn would still pay us. Nothing's stopping them from having someone else make the armor and just having us put on the crests.
Oh, I want new armor. I want people to look at me and say,
No,
"There's
we
a
could
bloody
we could do new, just not changing what you got.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, new can work. New can work. All right.
I can afford it.
All right. What type of new?
Well, the same kind of armor as the keep.
Another
Sorry.
piece of breastplate. I suppose you'd be able to we'd be able to just make a new breastplate. We wouldn't need like the rest of the breeches and pauldrons and whatnot, because none of that's branded. We might be able to make something else for you. Give me a moment. Let me take a look through. Pulls out his book, and you see he's flipping through it, and it's got scales and tables based on pay and time and supply costs, and it looks like some of it's been penned in, so you suspect it's the current trade of ore that's coming from the Cloudspine Mountains. Alright, so for a set of breastplate that's just the breastplate, annealed to be like almost like a inky black metal, it'll still be very shiny. Like it'll still have reflection. It's metal, mind you. With just the breastplate, not even the back, I'd put the cost at about 100 gold. Sort of whinges a little bit as he says it, especially after you guys just dropped the amount of money that you did on Siegfried's armor. And that was you guys pooling money. Be about 100 to get it all fixed up, and ready to go. Mind you, that's a pretty steep discount over the armor normally. We charge the watch $350 for your full set.
Oh wow. I guess I'm gonna have to do some more adventuring before I get that. But
Yeah, the other thing, so your friend Helras, if you come in with another set like our, that you want us to adjust, the annealing process is rather easy. Like, as long as Emil can figure out the exact composition of the metal, we can anneal it in ways to make it nearly whatever color you're looking for. And like the blackening process ain't hard. It's just a chemical. So any type of armor that fits you that you find that wasn't provided to you by Blackburn, we could do. Easy.
Okay.
For fractions of even the cost I just quoted you.
I knew you were real masters. Thank you. Oh,
because it wouldn't have to be forged, just coated with the blackening and left to sit for a day in the sun.
okay. Bye.
Just run
All right.
embarrassed.
All right. And you, Aeolus, you've been rather quiet. What can I do for you?
I walked out as Willem was going on about his armor.
Okay, got it.
You must know Aeolus has very limited.
Attention span.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's very anxious and on the edge all the time. Always thinking about duty, and he can't relax. So, what can you do? I tried, but I've given up.
All right. Anything else I can do for any of you today?
Well, if you ever come across another pair of splint armor, think about me. All right? Would be nice.
Noted. Have a good day.
Yeah, I think that's all for now. Have a good day, Andre. We'll come by tomorrow and pick up the armor for Helivrest. Well, in 2 days. I don't know what she said.
All right.
Danon walks out.
Yeah, Aeolus.
So as Siegfried walked out after his armor, Aeolus is. I'll turn. We should remember that we have items that we can barter and sell, like the fire rubies and the pearl earrings.
Yes, but I figured we could maybe save those for the road, versus a shop that actually takes coin, you know? In case we need to trade with anyone out there.
Right, but if the group is hurting for upgrades, and since the last few things that we have done haven't necessarily paid enough for your upgrades, we should think about what we should and should not ease of ourselves.
Sure. I was just thinking maybe when we run into the orc tribes, items like this may be useful to negotiate. But I understand what you're saying.
That is a very good point. I am going to head over to the establishment. I'll wait for everyone else to see if they also want to join, but I have a few questions that I would
Sure,
like to
unless you all go wherever you go. Just lead the way.
Yeah.
Yep, you bet.
Okay. Aeolus, you're waiting for everyone else to join you before heading over, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Easily enough done.
Rast will join Aeolus. She's done.
Dunnan and Willem, are you also going to join?
Sure.
Okay.
Got nothing else better to do.
Yeah, well, I'm all
Okay.
eating dogging in the back.
You head to the establishment, a nondescript store. the two windows that are slightly bulged outwards, such that they might be able to like have mannequins or goods on display, are empty, and have violet curtains drawn across them, such that very little light or might be able to enter the store, and you cannot see in whatsoever. Opening the door that sits nestled between these two sets of windows, you see a iron grate as opposed to a welcome or entryway, and then a series of 3 steps that lead upwards to the interior of the shop, about 2 feet higher than you are currently. To the left of this iron grate is a large round stone set into the wall almost. It looks like it probably goes underneath one of these things if it's a full sphere. But currently you're only seeing maybe about a third of the sphere that's protruding from the wall. Almost like it's half in, half, like partially shoved into a hole in the wall, like a porthole. And above it says, be courteous.
Aelus will walk up these steps and enter if he's able to.
Yeah, easily enough. You walk up the steps. Your boots are heavy on the wooden steps in front of you that are clearly made with care. It looks to be some type of redwood and lacquered to a beautiful shine. The interior of the establishment is dark, lit by candlelight. On the left-hand side, as you walk up, there is a series of bookshelves and what looks to be almost like card catalogs. Huge stacks of just hundreds of tiny little drawers, not more than like 3 inches by 2 inches. Who knows how deep to the far wall. And then on the lower level, there's very wide, shallow drawers that can be pulled out, such that might store parchments and papers and all manner of things. Although nothing sits upon any desk or shelf. Above you, from the ceiling, hang from the rafters a series of twine, and within the bundles, collections of vials and what looks to be swirling liquids of various colors. Ahead of you is a blank wall with a single door set into it on the right-hand side. Next to that door, jutting out from that wall and curving almost all the way to the window to your right-hand side, almost like a bar and bar top, there is a counter. No connection from the counter to the interior of the room where you stand currently. You need to go through the door that also leads to the back from the bar side. Behind that is another set of these card catalog shelves. Looks to be slightly more well maintained. And upon each card catalog drawer, so to speak, is set in very small crystals. You see at a glance, reflected in the candlelight, shines of purple, green, red, yellow, blues. You suspect it's some type of organization system based on the color code. As you enter, there's a soft voice that announces your presence. Guests. And peering from the back, on the bar side, walking out the door, is a halfling. Their hair slicked back and thinning on top. Let me see if I have the handout in here. Could you bear with me for one moment? I do not have the handout. I'll grab it. A halfling that looks to be very well-to-do in general. He greets the lot of you. Hello. Excuse me. Be courteous. deal with the mud upon your boots. That's why the stone is there.
Aeolus will
Yeah.
step back to the stone
Yes?
and will scrape off of the mud off his boots.
No,
I guess.
you Neanderthal. Touch the stone with your hand.
I touch the stone with my hand.
You feel a very soft vibration emanate through your body in an instant, and like a cat that has walked inside and shivered the water off of it, all of the mud and muck falls away from you and your clothing into the grate below you. Thank you.
Very convenient.
Better than having to go around and do it in the whole place, now that I need to do the steps again.
Yeah. Sigrid will
Yeah,
follow
sorry.
suit and clean himself.
As will Willem, of course.
As will Hilly Rest.
Thank you. Now, to what do I owe the pleasure? I know what you're likely here for, as he nods towards you, Aeolus. Is there anything else that I might be able to address prior to our business?
Perhaps any maps of the common trails and geography going to Ormskirk and
What century?
as recent as possible, please.
Oh, it's nothing. Yes, of course.
Well, I mean, well, also, I guess, I don't know. Do you have any thing about the ancient histories of the orc tribes? Maybe their movements?
Some, not much. Not too many people keep that. Not too many of them, truthfully write it down either. Yes.
Just something that may help us track down the tribes in the, I forget the river basin we were headed towards. I have to look at the map again. Sorry.
Let me move you over.
Yeah.
The world map, right?
Yeah, the world map.
There you are.
Because you said that the orcs were in the around the Sanguine River basin.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, any information I can find on like the movements of those tribes, that's what I would ask him for. Ancient or otherwise, recent, ancient, doesn't matter.
I found my Kelpip art.
Of Kelpip.
There you are.
Oh, that's great. I love the fancy the leg warmers.
I love Kelpip so much.
All right. Maps, recent and older, with the orcs, what I might have. Anything else?
No,
I
maybe.
was
Yeah, no. Sigrid will just take those and start studying them. Thank
Yeah.
you.
He hasn't.
Kelpip.
He hasn't provided anything to you yet. He's just.
Oh, okay.
He's just taking inventory in his head of.
No, that's all from me. That's all I can think of right now.
All right. Looks at you, Willem. Sorry, not Willem. Aeolus. I was looking at the wrong name. And then gestures to the other four of you. Are they all privy to said information?
yes.
Certainly. He snaps, and you hear the door behind you latch, and the sign flip around, such that no one else will be able to enter. Watch business, you understand. Better to not have any potential people entering. The crystals to which you've provided me, veritably interesting. Very unstable. Don't touch them. Seriously, don't touch them. They seem to be giving off some type of aura, perpetually pushing out from them. Not not quite magically inclined, but also not quite pleasant either. He produces a small leather pouch, and pulls out from it, almost like a snuff tin, made out of a dark metal. This is lead. This is the only safe way to sort of transport these things. I hope none of you held these in your pockets for very long, or if you did, I hope you don't want kids. These are very unpleasantly dangerous with prolonged exposure. Don't know where you found these, but they're not good. The prolonged exposure will cause deep sores on your body, potential loss of muscular tone, damage in brittle bones, and probably eventual death. It's wouldn't be a pleasant end either. Your organs would start to go into failure towards the end. You'd be coughing up blood. You'd lose all rectal control. It'd be bad. It'd be really bad. An unpleasant way to go. Now, mind you, that would need to be maybe like if you ingested quite a bit of them by accident or intentionally. Worst way to commit suicide ever, though. Though, no, it's definitely the worst. I'll choose drowning over this. But this is not good stuff. Now, prolonged exposure, if you don't ingest it, the symptoms would not develop quite as quickly. Maybe over periods of months, as opposed to short term, maybe weeks if you ingested. If you can't pass the crystals quickly enough, or I mean, ingested, you just gotta hope you shit them through, and they're small enough to be done. But I suppose if you get them down, you could get them back up. Like, if you eat them, induce vomiting, be probably your best idea.
Hillaras slowly turns and looks at Willem, who is just gleefully collecting them.
Oh no.
I put them in the old potion bottle at least.
Not a good
Aeolus-
idea. Keep them in a lead
Aeolus-
container now.
Grab them from Willem last time.
When they were at the, when you guys were at the Faded Gate, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
As he was having his first experience with alcohol.
So now we know it's not stuff to not be trifled with. But
I suppose it's good that
Yeah.
Willem didn't snort it.
is there any way to, I don't know, harvest its power or do anything with it? Or what do you suppose is the goal if you mine a lot of those crystals?
So that's the other side. It's kind of interesting. Highly unstable, but yeah, let me show you something. He looks around and just pinches at the different candles that he has illuminated around the room. The lights fall to the point where they're barely burning, and the air is quite dark. And then you see some movement behind the bar. You can't quite tell what he's doing in the darkness, and pulls out a sort of it's very faintly glowing piece of glass or crystal or gem of some sort. Looks white, like a white blue light, almost like LED blue. But not nowhere near as bright. It's just that sort of shade and coldness of light, and produces that. Observe for a moment. This is a piece of quartz that's been tethered to an alternate plane of existence for other purposes. But when I allow it to interact with these, it opens the lead snuff tin and places it within the snuff tin, amongst the green crystals that definitely shed more light than the piece of quartz by itself. You see the bluish light sort of get affected and slowly bleed through and blend in with the green light. It's now, the crystals themselves are now remarkably more stable. That quartz no longer has as much of a tether to an alternative plane of existence. The green crystals you found help tether it here to the material plane. I understand some of this is above. So the kami that existed in the Pinwood, they walk between the spirit world and our own. Okay. And sometimes crossing over to our own, where we, flesh and blood, exist, is difficult and consuming and can't be done for long. If these crystals were to be in contact with one of the said kami, it would allow them to remain tethered to this flesh and bloody world for significantly longer than if they were not in contact with these crystals. These can be used as anchors to keep something here or allow something to stay here, someone to stay here longer.
Like a
Long story short, it's a binding crystal in some sort, or can be used?
Sort of. I have no clue if it would be useful on alternate planes of existence. I lack the required materials to test the theory myself at the moment. And the wash pays me good, but not that good. I've sent for them, mind you, but it will take the better part of the next 6 months to arrive. These crystals, and here's the like tethering something to the flesh. You need to be a flesh and blooded thing to be successfully tethered here. So, like, if a coming of the wood picked up one of these crystals, they'd become sort of fleshy and bloody as they are in on their own plane. They wouldn't be ethereal and transparent. So it would make you susceptible to harm, and thereby susceptible to the decay of that these crystals cause to your body. To be a miserable way to shackle oneself here. So anchors, it's a double-edged sword, you understand. Yes, it keeps you here, but at what cost? The cost of that same flesh and bloody form, which would presumably eventually kill you. And normally if a creature is killed, from the lower planes, for example, here, well, they're not truly dead, they're just sent back. So I don't know if something that's been tethered here with these can experience a true death or not. I'm definitely not testing that. That's far above what I'm being paid. Don't think there's enough money on the southern coast of Aquan for that.
I think
Scales will
it
pull out
makes sense.
one of the unhinge one of the roper tendrils. So what you're saying is a creature that comes into contact with these, and he will place the tendril on the bar along with the vial of Tessera. We've fought creatures that have come into contact. Creatures that were...
He gestures to the tendril. What creature? I think I know. Was this one of the creatures that masquerades as stalactite?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Um, I have it around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. He watches. He's just sort of takes a few steps from behind the bar, and mind you, he's a halfling. And up to this point, the bar's been about at his navel, and you realize he's just been standing on air this entire time as he takes a few steps up some invisible staircase, and then crosses as he walks back down onto the floor in front of you, and then goes over to the left side of the room and pulls out one of the drawers and lifts a tome that's inside and flips through it for a moment. Ropers. They're known to eat and consume and then make part of their form any types of minerals in the environment in which they find themselves. Was this crystal in the space, not the roper itself, but around it?
It was. It seemed like it wasn't able to naturally take in the crystals, but the crystals laid within its form.
So, ropers are known to consume and grind up any mineral that they take in just small and fine pieces, and then use that as almost like like a shell. They don't exude it from their own bodies; they place it upon themselves. Um, I would suspect this was the case. They used their mouth, which has this rotating muscle, to break up stone and anything else. It's quite interesting when you do find one in like a inhabited den, because you'll see that it has pieces of bone that make up parts of its form. Morose, mind you, but when a stalactite or stalagmite has bones protruding from it, you kind of should know what it is at that point. And it's probably pretty good at what it does, and if you can see it, it's probably already able to grab you at that point also. So be careful. But my suspicion, you said this thing had these crystals upon it, would be that it had ground up some of the stone and crystals that were in its environment, such as to better camouflage itself. If you take a roper out of one environment and put it in a different with totally different mineral composition, you will notice over the course of about 2 days, its shell completely changes.
As a natural.
It's a natural instinct of camouflage. It needs to match what it surrounds it.
Okay, and then the other creature we fought, the individuals that were calling forth
Individuals?
through, we fought a number of worshippers to an entity known as Evocalist.
Vocalist. Never heard of it. Vocalist.
And then summoned this rather large and frightening crustacean that then tried to eat us. And that's where the viscera came from. That's all I was able to harvest.
Interesting. A large crab, you say?
It had developed tentacles as well, like the roper.
Ropers are known for tentacles. Crustaceans, on the other hand, very uncommon. That merits additional research. Where did you fell this beast?
I look at Aeolus to get his approval before I show him. Do I have Aeolus's approval?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So yeah, I will open up the map and I'll show him where the contaminated well is, where we met the shapeshifters, and then also the mine where we found the crystals and the crustacean. And I told him we were following the flow of water, and we eventually found this place.
The flow of water. So these crystals are in the water in this space.
Unfortunately,
It didn't
yes.
seem naturally to be in the water, but this cult or whatever that was worshiping these crabs, where this crab was, they were throwing cartfuls of these crystals into an, an aquifer or some sort that was feeding all these wells and the water in the farmland in that area.
They did that deliberately.
I have.
They wanted to contaminate the water there, slowly poison all the crops and the people there.
Right. Noted. Excuse me 1 moment. He goes to a different drawer, nearest to, on the left, still the same wall, left-hand wall, nearest to the window, and Ruffles opens out one of these very long, wide drawers, and Ruffles through it, pulls out 3 charts, hands them to you, Siegfried. One is a more localized map of Armskirk and the Sanguine River, along with topography and markings of popular hunt locations, and one location that just says ruins. It's marked as, and there's a question mark on it. This is probably the most up-to-date one that I've not quite finished myself. If I had to suspect any place within the Sanguine River watershed, he points at the ruins. It's got some natural defenses to it. If any group was to stay in that watershed for very long, I would be surprised for them to pick another location. It's well defended, sheltered from the elements, good access to hunt, food and water. I'd try there.
Thank you. If I find any details that aren't on here, I'll try and add them and bring them back for you.
Add them on a separate sheet, please.
Yes. I have my own. I show him my journal.
It's very good. That's nice. These crystals, you say that they're in the water. What is
Yes,
it that... He goes back over to the bar, walking up the invisible steps again. Space through which the group of you had just walked through. You know there's nothing there. Just sort of walks up the steps, crosses over to the bar, and sort of sits down behind it. No stool. It's just concerning.
We informed the watch, and hopefully they're going to send some people there. But the Captain Storm Surge was out of the town when we arrived.
I'm not going to return these crystals to you, by the way. The group of you have no others, correct?
I don't have any on me.
Nope.
Good. I'll speak with the Council of Elders. The rest of them need to be aware of what's going on.
If you can do me a personal favor,
Perhaps.
Joel, the man who owned the well that was contaminated, he's
Right.
quite far along on the disease. I don't know if any medicine or healing can help him now, but maybe at least make his passing a little easier, if you could.
After going through the tests and divinations I was able to accomplish, I'm not sure if anything is going to be able to positively affect this.
Well, then maybe just palliative care, at least providing some pain relief.
Maybe. I'll have someone go. I'll mention it to the village elders.
And
The rest
perhaps
of them will
someone
have an
should-
opinion.
And perhaps some more security on any water sources. These individuals, they took advantage of the fact that Joel couldn't tend to his lands, and it seemed like they were quite comfortable with trespassing on his property and stealing his water. So just
Wait, they were stealing his water that was contaminated.
I don't know what they were trying to do. They kept trying to go towards the well.
The he goes to the fourth drawer down right there. He gestures to it on the left hand wall, towards the right, towards the back of the shop. Open that. It's the water table.
Okay, I could take that.
The plains to the north and east of here. They're fed by runoff from the chalk deposits that Thornridge Bluffs is made out of, and the hilly terrain upon which the pinwood is built, the acidic soils. All of that water runs down into the plains, and then seeps into the ground from there, in addition to feeding the wildlife and nurturing the grasses. Anything that's not part of the Sanguine River Aquashed itself. From there, there's an underground river, much like the Troll Run, that meets underneath Elderthorn. The aquifer is what supplies most of the farmlands in that direction. Any well would tap into that. So it's not a well that's contaminated. I apologize for my less than sunny disposition, but based on what you've said, and if I take you all at your face value, you're saying that not just one well is contaminated. You're saying that an aquifer, that dozens of farms, nearly half of Elderthorn's food source for next winter, is being watered by an aquifer contaminated with these crystals. This isn't a small problem of one man being sick. My heart goes out to Joel and any loved ones he may or may not have, but this isn't a problem that is solved by a man getting palliative care. This is the Taltha starving. If that food can't be eaten, it's not a access to one well.
Yeah, I understand, and that is why we're here. But it doesn't seem like anyone is moving against us as much as we have been. That's why we came here, to get your help. I tried to alert the watch, but I don't know. I'm doing the best I can with the authority I have, sir.
I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm merely trying to impress upon you the gravitas of the situation that you've discovered, which is a valuable discovery. That the water source, entire underground water source, might have been poisoned. That's not nothing, and don't think that the Watch or the rest of the Council, when I speak to them, will think otherwise. I'm sure that they will understand the gravitas as well. We've been around far more winters than you have, young man.
How else can we help?
What we need is a way to potentially remove this blight. After it's been applied. Any food sources, the fields have been sown. We're nearly halfway through spring. They've been planted. Like, maybe we'll be able to save a full harvest, but it's still a massive loss of food source. We do get 2 growing seasons, but if we can manage to save any of the spring crop, if we can safely allow people to eat it, knowledgeable that it might be contaminated, but we have an ability to remove the contamination in their own bodies once it's been ingested, that might work. But we need knowledge on how to do so. And I'm
I
months from supplies being delivered. For even attempted tests, I needed to send for them.
Siegfried also kind of his eyes kind of go wide, and he also says to, I forgot his name already.
Kelpip.
Kelpip.
Kelpip Snowbeetle.
I think Bettiana was looking into that before, and someone found out and killed her for it.
It would
Be careful.
if you were someone whose goal was to cripple the Daltha of Elderthorn, this is a way to do it. You don't topple armies with force of will or sheer numbers. A little bit of drugs in their ale supplies, poison in their food. That's all you need. And they will never fight the following morning. Or if they do, they lose. Even against an inferior fighting force.
Do you know anybody capable of finding a cure for the disease or help purify the lands? We are adventurers. We are no scientists. We can't help out with that. We might track down somebody who can, but
I actually had an idea, but I'm not sure. I wanted to run it by you people, if that was okay.
Speak, boy. There's no
you
time
said-
to waste.
You said this has to deal with Kami. My mother knows more about Kami than anyone I know in Elderthorn. I think maybe we should ask her.
It's possible. Well, sorry if I misled you. There might be a solution there. I couldn't say for certain. They've owned this land far longer than we have, and whatever organization or civilization came prior. But as far as we know, the Komi have always been of the land. But I meant to use that as an example of the tethering from one plane to another that the crystal can provide. But it's not a... It's an avenue worth exhausting at the very least. The knowledge of how to deal with this, though, is... I wouldn't begin to know where to start. I'll reach out to my contacts and see if they have a more expeditious means of transportation for the supplies I require. There's nowhere in Droucia or even Aquan of which I know that I can acquire them. I've needed to send for them from the west. Such the delay in the timeline. But 6 months' time is still, even if they get on the ship tomorrow, is still too long to be able to rightfully affect any type of experiments. Even, mind you, even if I'm successful in determining a correct way to solve it, I would then still need supplies to do that. So I can't wait. We can't wait the 6 months for that to arrive. It'll be on its way, but we'll use that as a final iffy measure. You mentioned the orc tribes as well, correct? Were you planning to speak with them about something else?
No, well, Kelpip, out of character, Kelpip knows, if he's part of the Tautha, he knows about the city we found. I keep forgetting all these names.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Insight. Urkrit. Yeah.
So, as one of the members of the Tautha, which is the town, the village, no.
Okay. No. Okay.
But as one of the members of the Council of Elders, yes.
Okay. Well, I
He's
say
he said a couple times now he'll speak with the rest of the council.
okay.
Implying that he is one of said elders.
Well, I tell him that city we found, Urkrit. It's an orcish city. It was built by orcs long before the existence of Alderthorn. And
This is
we
why
freak-
you continue.
no, yeah, that's this is
finish,
why we
finish the thought. Yes, continue.
yeah we talked to Heliras relatives, and they didn't seem to know. They honestly, as you said, they didn't keep very well written records, so they referred us to the tribes in the Sanguine River. Perhaps they might have insight, especially on the objects known as Bodeball stones.
Check with the tribes. See if they have any rumors or legends of anything like this. It's all oral tradition with him. But
So, you also mentioned that these green crystals, they're a source of energy, right?
sort of. They have this aura radiating from them, but that is the energy itself. I have no idea if there's any way to accurately tether it. It just seems rather destructive.
Well, the Bodemall stone we used to activate the gates, those had an incredible amount of energy contained within them. Do you think there's a possible connection between the two?
From what, mind you, I've gotten this through the vine, so to speak. Bodemall stones seem like they might have been created, not naturally occurring. Created
Yes,
for
but
purpose.
do you think this is the raw material used to create them?
What color was the Bodemall stone you found?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
What color was the Bodemall stone you found?
It was like darkish blue, right?
It was like light blue, yeah.
Light blue, yeah. Light blue, and it had runes inside of it.
I'm not sure. So for everything that I've, any magical thing that I've tried to use to interact with these, if anything, it would take on their color. Maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible, but...
Also, unrelated but also related, the mayor of Ukrit has an immense amount of knowledge. It may help to correspond with him.
I'll pay the fellow a visit in that case then.
He quite values adventure and interesting stories.
I can give him the latter.
But he's unspeakably old and somehow managed to cross the Cloud Spire Mountains by himself, so there's something
Cross
there.
the cloud spines?
Yeah. Yep, that's what he said.
Interesting. That may also be a worthy piece of information. I shall pay him a visit after speaking with the council. Which is his name?
I totally forgot. I'm sorry.
Yerl.
Yarrow?
Daryl.
Yerl.
Yarrow, okay. I have it in my notes. I'm just like violently flipping.
Euro, like the food?
Yerryl, if I remember the spelling correctly.
Yarrow, yep.
I'll pay the chap a visit and have a good conversation. Look, I don't mean to be discourteous. This is a lot of information. My family's estate and farm is one of those in that region that will be affected by this corruption. It explains what has been plaguing my nephew. Unfortunately.
The snow beetles.
My sister runs the place. Wasn't really my forte, but family's family. Let me see if I have anything that might be able to assist the group of you in your procurements.
So, handling the crystal.
Is this a mechanic question or in character question?
In character.
Okay.
So, handling the crystal or the water of it.
Extremely briefly, probably fine. Imbibing it, don't do it.
Well,
Prolonged exposure, like don't turn this into a necklace and earrings.
right. But from what we saw, limbs and the body began to lock up. If you were to relieve yourself of the affected limb, could it stop what's
I
happening?
suspect it's more of a symptom of a grander problem. I'm not quite as inclined medicinally, but from my understanding, extremities will likely be affected first, before you see issues with your hips and spine. The problem will show first on those things furthest from your core.
So, you said that your supplies are 6 months out. Is there anything we can start on?
To the best of my knowledge, no Taltha in Droucia or any cities in the Northern Territories carry some of the things that I need, and I can't ask you to acquire them either. I will reach out to my contacts and see if others can be acquired. What I would like the group of you, if you are looking to work on this, which I would be eternally grateful, any information or knowledge that you acquire about these crystals, histories, similar ailments, things like that, historically, will be invaluable. Anything that, even if we cross something out, that's still worth something. Dunham, were you about to have a question also?
Nope.
No, I thought you were.
I do have a question, by the way.
Yeah, go for it.
It's not in character, but is there any chance that I would have been able to retain even just a scraping of the crystals? I kind of want to combine it with the pitch from those trees just to see what happens.
Roll me a percentage chance. 85 and higher. Yes.
85.
Yeah.
That
Do it like that.
actually-
Oh man, it didn't work.
No, a percentage, a D100.
I know. I was making fun of myself when I accidentally rolled a 100.
Oh, yeah.
That actually rolls into what Aeolus was gonna ask.
No,
Not so much.
Unfortunately not. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I need just one scraping of this. See, we have the sap, and they seem to be linked somehow. I just want to put just a small scraping in it, an experiment.
So then why
To
don't you let
understand the process and what this is doing.
You may leave a vial of the sap there.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You may leave a vial of said sap there, as he gestures at the counter.
Well, if I do leave it and you put it in there, can I get it back next time we are through town?
The sap?
I
No.
will be careful. I have a feeling about putting the sap and this item together, and I'm curious. I feel like it'll be significant.
I will confer to any results of the experimentation, but I will not return the sap nor the crystals to you, as one would potentially be contaminated by the other at that point.
Well, I'm not going to hand over the sap.
Okay. As he's rubbing his head at the moment. He seems to be a bit overwhelmed. What capabilities do the group of you have?
Bashing heads.
Bashing heads. Good. Okay.
I,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I think Helly was about to go.
Yes, I'm a shaman and can speak with my spirit guide.
Maybe the spirit guide will have something. Okay. You, sir?
I'm really keen and I help them and lead the party, and I can also do some magic sometimes.
Okay.
Olaf here is the researcher first, the more science guy.
Science guy.
And I have connection to primal magic and a decent tracker as well.
Oh, I can cook really well as well.
That is
Have
true.
you ever had road bacon? Or walking bacon?
What's road bacon?
It's bacon you eat on the road.
That makes sense. I should have guessed that one on context.
It's all right. You're quite distracted at the
Pretty
moment.
obvious, the name. I mean, duh.
If it's any, if it helps us any, and Aeolus will remove the ring of contingency and we'll put it on the bar. This hasn't helped me.
I have no need for it. I have no need for said trinkets. Hold on to it. It was roll me 3d8, please. And now Roll20 wants to work correctly. Nice. 17. Okay. He pulls out a small chest, and opens it up and hands it over to you, Aeolus. It's about 10 inches long, 2 inches high, and about 3 inches deep. And the top sort of slide, like it's a sliding box. Contained therein a number of potions that might be of assistance to you and your companions during your perusal. Use them as needed. Additionally, I have this that might assist some of you. One moment, let me find the handout. So, contained therein, Aeolus, are 5 potions of greater healing and 5 potions of standard healing. All right.
Woo!
So
Wow.
5 healing, 5 greater. They're 10 total. So add them to party loot, please.
I think everybody takes one of each.
Okay. That. And then
We adding those right to our sheets, or are we doing it in the group?
that's a good question. Where are you guys putting them?
I put one of each in my inventory already.
In your personal inventories?
Yeah.
Well, there's
I think-
only 5 of each, and there's 6 of us, so.
There's 5 of you.
We have
5 of
5.
us, right? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, good.
And so yep, I will add 1 greater
Yeah.
healing, and one regular, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, 1 greater and 1 regular. Then I also have this. I don't know if it would be helpful, but I hope that it might be. Where is it? Pardon me for one moment. I'm trying to find my handout. I forgot to link it in my notes. There we go. Of course, it's not there. Went to the wrong section. Could you bear with me for one moment, please? No, not that. I need to find the handout. We'll add it to the journal later. He produces a carved wooden staff. By sort of opening a sort of circular hole in the top of the counter, the bar top that he's seated behind, reaching his hand in and then just pulling this staff that's almost 7 feet long out of it, comically like pulling a long stick out of a small hole.
It's like pulling the scarves out of the sleeve. It just keeps coming.
Yeah, just more and more staff.
It's like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he produces the quite long staff and hands it to you, Siegfried, actually. I think this may be of utility to you.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Besides, I'm going to charge the watch for it anyway.
So,
Good.
Mr. Snowbeetle, thank you very much for all that, but I'm still unsure. What is asked of us now? What is our mission? It's still unclear for me.
I think we just need to go out and find exactly what's going on. We don't have enough information for the...
By asking the orcs?
You may consider these rewards for the information you've already gathered. It will be just as generous for any more information you might be able to provide concerning this ailment, its sources, and potentially how to treat it. However you go about finding said information is entirely up to you. The orcs may be a valuable source of information. This individual, he gestures towards Siegfried, his mother may be good. Once I speak with the mayor, I will drop you a line if he has any knowledge about the far side of the cloud spines. It's rather mysterious.
There's a new mayor?
The mayor's been chosen, yeah.
The mayor's not been chosen. The mayor of Earthcrypt.
Oh, you mean that? Oh,
I see. Okay.
Once I speak with that chap, I will... If he has any information concerning the far side of the cloud spines, I will also pass along said information, as there's virtually no knowledge known about that space. And anyone that claims to have any information about it should be reviewed. Though I do not know how you might be able to get to the far side of the cloud spines on your own. They're not very traversable, as you should likely know.
I'm not entirely sure the mayor of Urquhart entirely moves through space and time as we do.
Yeah, he doesn't really have legs.
He's not your typical mayor, as you imagine. Don't be spooked if you see his appearance.
Well, he is a giant floating eye with a bunch of stalks coming off him.
Yes. He's not your typical
That might have warranted mentioning at any point previously, but thank you for the heads up.
Yes.
William, could you draw him a quick sketch for Mr. Snowbeetle here?
I'm thinking we should write a letter of introduction.
Sure.
Willem would very, very careful and exactingly pull out a piece of parchment from his book and mutter to himself, and run his hand over the sheet, and would make the picture appear on there, and then be, just don't put it in the direct sunlight. It will degrade it. But here you go.
Interesting. Very well. I shall look for this individual. I suppose it won't be too difficult to find.
Honestly, he just seemed quite lonely. He seemed to like conversation quite a bit. I think he might be illuminating.
Just don't be spooked by his appearance. He's quite the nice guy. Quite the nice guy.
Yeah, but he does like to play little tricks and games, so be on your toes.
Noted. Very well. If you don't mind, I really must be closing up. I need to speak with the council, and then I need to prepare for a journey to Egypt.
Well, thank you. You've been the most help so far.
I hope so. Good fortunes to you. You hear the latch of the door disengage. Leave the sign unclosed on your way out, please.
Yeah, I will leave.
Okay.
About what time of day is it now?
So at this point in the day, it's probably a bit, just past noon, we'll say.
Okay.
Um,
I turned to the group. I think I'm gonna go pay my mother a visit, but if you guys don't want to, maybe we can meet back before sundown.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. Yeah. Then Siegfried would start heading towards his mother's cabin.
Okay, noted. Let's go ahead and take our mid-session break here. Call it about 5 to 8 minutes, roughly.
Sure,
Back,
sounds good.
back 53-ish.
Keep our break and keep playing. I
You
was indicating I'm excited about the adventure.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm glad. So let's call a break. Come back about 53, 54, give or take.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Gillis received the invitation to stay at Blackburn.
The
He was at the inn.
the inn would be the Faded Gate Inn, and yes, they do. That's how we're Dunnan lives.
Oh man, can Willem hook up with a room? Can I pay a month, 2
Certainly,
months, 3 months, a
Certainly.
year? What do I do?
certainly. How much gold did you want to spend, or silver did you want to spend
And how much would it be for a year?
for a year?
Oh boy.
One sec.
Personally, I think it may be smarter to go like per 10 day.
We'll meet in the middle. How about for a month?
Be 100 silver for a month.
Done. Deducting it. I
100
shan't
silver
see
for
the number
three. The month is
everything.
310 day. And that includes any holidays included therein as well.
Oh man, do they feed you with it? It's a little costly.
No, gotta pay.
That's all right. I'll have my food go on Dunny's tab.
Also works. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with my bot. It just doesn't. It just want to stay in the voice channel.
Nope.
Works for me. I always have it silenced, anyways.
Yeah.
Me too.
Dannen
What?
eats so much, he will probably won't realize it anyway.
What? I love the
Fair.
music bot.
I just
Yeah,
I can't focus on both the music and the game.
I always have
Unfortunately.
it going. I appreciate it.
I have terrible ADD, so yeah, diagnosed. I'm not just being dramatic. Yeah, the too much stimulations like fries my nerves. So I don't have it off. It's very, very low.
Yeah, I usually keep it super low. But, all right. Back into everything anyway. So Willem, if I recall correctly, you said you wanted to join Siegfried in visiting his mother.
Yep.
Okay.
And I would hopefully have time to run through the shops to find just a small gift to pass on.
So the sun is up, so you could head to the Market March, where all manner of wares and supplies are being sold, mostly foodstuffs. But were you looking in for anything in particular?
Nice.
Presumably some bacon.
Nice Chianti.
I mean, we need to get some more stock for ourselves, but bacon would be a good gift.
Yeah, easily enough. So that would be not the Market March specifically, but that would be where's my notes? Go all the way up to my DM notes. Trom Hollum. He's the butcher. It's Wes and Bryson's dad. You've bought actually a fair supply of meat from him, so he's always happy to see you.
Yeah. I'm assuming by now it's like buy 4 pounds, get the fifth free or something. Frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, it's buy 4 pounds, get another half at half off. It's not that good of a deal, but it's still something. He's always happy to see you, and he knows how much meats you buy at this point, so it's usually just, oh yeah, sure, I got it for you. Like, he's happy to short his other customers later in the day potentially, because it means it keeps you happy with how much you buy between supplying the numbers and supplying yourself and the rest of your group at this point.
Might as well pick up a nice shoulder roast too while I'm at it.
Sure. Mark off 15 silver total.
Done.
All right. So
This
easy
is
enough. It's
why I
wrapped
make
up
it
in
I buy food for everyone.
he wraps it up in some hide for you, ties it, and provides you the nice package, ready to go. Anything else that you needed to pick up before you and Siegfried set out, or anything that you need, Siegfried?
Seasonings, if
Even if Sigurd needed anything, he is broke right now.
Fair. Seasonings, easily enough, Willem. It's the middle of the day. You're not showing up to the Market March as it closes like previously. You can acquire what you need. Mark off another 3 silver.
you're ready.
All right. You have all of the makings of a well-seasoned pork belly roast ready to go. Or bacon.
Pork shoulder roast and bacon. Thank you.
It's pork belly bacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We good.
That'll take care of that. So the two of you set out towards Siegfried's mother. That'll take you the better part of the day. You'll arrive towards sundown to reach her. The rest of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I would just tell Dunnan, and then we'll meet at the Faded Gate in the morning then.
Sure, sounds good to me.
That would mean that you do not rest, Siegfried. I'm just working that timeline back. It'll take you, because it takes you about half a day.
Oh,
So
yeah. Sorry. Then I think we should rest then. So we'll meet in the afternoon. Then.
meet at lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Take your time. Family's important.
And we were waiting for Helly's armor either way, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. So Aeolus, Helrest, and Dunnan. The three of you are left with the run of the town the second half of the day after your companions depart for a home visit. Is there anything the three of you are getting up to?
Heliras needs to track down a holy symbol.
Holy symbol. Certainly.
Holy symbol for spirit guardian.
Of course. Certainly.
And she doesn't have anything like that.
So let's jump over to the Elderthorn map. The closest place that you would think would be D, Temple of the Faithful. Now, the temple is not to any particular god, goddess, entity, pantheon, so on and so forth. There's tons, maybe over 100 small alcoves set all throughout that maybe at one point had different meaning, but now they've been sort of relegated by the different members of the community, different families of the community, as each family's own little personal place to make offerings, light incense, and remember their loved ones and ancestors that have passed. So now it's more of a place of quiet reverie than dedicated faith. But upon arrival, it's better than nothing. My God, I have so many things open. So I was looking for that Steve's handout for him. All right, there's my NPCs. Upon arriving there, you see a familiar-looking tabaxi that approaches you. Yes, how can I help you? You've met this tabaxi once previously during the dinner with named NPCs.
Yes.
I have no idea where some of my handouts are disappearing, I swear. It's the tabaxi
He was there at the keep.
Ah, Sidar. I found him. Here we are.
Yeah.
He was there when you were having dinner at Blackburn Keep, immediately prior to Aeolus's home burning down.
Right.
Welcome. Helderest?
Yeah. Yes.
I never
Hello,
forget your
Sidar.
face. Sidar.
Sidar.
Yes.
Thank you for.
You're welcome.
I have need for a holy symbol. I've picked up some magic, but I'm not sure exactly what that means or how to procure it.
Are you a member of a particular faith that I might be able to see about to the said procurement? Or would any do?
Well, probably something more orcish would be in line.
You are Gogran's kin, yes?
Correct. Or actually, yeah. I wouldn't say correct.
Gogran does not maintain an alcove here. His father returned to the tribes a number of years back, and to the best of my knowledge, none of his other kin have passed whilst within the city that he pays respects to. I have a fine necklace of orcish make that I can provide to you, although I don't know if it would be the right option. Here, he's walking through the Temple of Faithful, and it's a quiet place. The cathedral square outside between this and Blackburn Keep is regularly used for town gatherings and most notably executions when needed, infrequently as it is. But during the rest of the time, sort of busing, street performing, selling of any type is forbidden within Cathedral Square, and as such, it maintains this quiet that's separated away from the Market March in the northern half of the Tiltwinds. And as such, that quiet extends even more so into the Temple of the Faithful, such that even the soft footsteps of Sidar's supple leather boots can be very faintly heard upon the stone. There's a few people passing by. He leads you to a small sort of booth, or kiosk, we'll call it, that has a selection of different types of incense and holders and flint and steel and spark sticks and everything that you would need to pay respects to your loved ones. If you need anything, I'd be happy to quote you a price. But necklace, just mention to Gogaran that I provided it to you, and free of charge.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, he produces for you a necklace. It looks like it's made out of very polished silver. It might be silver, like white gold. You're not particularly metallurgically inclined, but it's that sort of color. And at the bottom of it is two set, like almost like forming a W shape, two heavy looking, albeit small, tusks with very fat bottoms that point down and then hook back upwards. Very reminiscent of like orcish tusks. It's not any particularly divine nature, but it might help you connect with your own spirits or that of any family, perhaps.
Thank you. I'd like to cast augury, whether this is this the right necklace? Is this the right holy symbol?
So the augury would be
Shall I take this?
I intend to cast Spirit Guardians with this symbol.
Okay.
And would that go well or poorly? And it would go well. It would be wheel.
Wheel. Okay.
Yeah.
Going to go
Yeah,
ahead.
augury's a weird one because it's not a yes no. It's a, is this specific course of action going to pan out well,
Right.
or is it going to pan out poorly? And that's also then subjective. Is it good for you? Good for the like not a. It's a second level spell. Like it's not a very high level divination spell, but still good. You do get the information that the intended plan of casting Spirit Guardians with this, once you are away from any onlookers, would go well.
Okay. Then she will take it and bow deeply to Sidar and head over to Gogron and relay the message.
Okay. Also, you can mark symbol of the orcs into your inventory. It is worth 5 gold.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And then you said just you're passing the message along to Gogron. Anything that you need there, or just pass it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Sidar said something about talking to Gogron, which I didn't really catch, but yes.
It was more of just make sure Gogron knows who helped you out type of thing.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah. She still wanted to go to see Gogron anyway, so.
Did you want to go through that conversation or just anything?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing in particular. Just that's where she's headed.
Go spend some time with your cousin.
See how he's doing.
All right. Dun and Neolis, my cat. I don't know if she came through the microphone. What will the two of you be doing?
Danan would most likely just relax, chill, and defeat Gideon. He has no special tasks to do.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Coming right up.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Now roll 20 wants to show it. 17. Your evening passes quite comfortably. You end up with a little bit of a buzz throughout the entire evening. You listen to a few conversations here and there. The only thing that sort of catches your ear for a moment is you hear that if you, particularly someone who is way more drunk than they should be, at like 4 in the afternoon, says, yeah, if you want any special attention from any of the girls upstairs, you gotta go with Armani. Amani. Bonnie. I think. You're way better than any of those. Nice surprise. But that's it. It's some drunkard who thinks that you can pay one of the people that is staying here. It's trying to build some type of rapport for you, and it just sort of falls flat. It's not exactly a fun companion. He leaves presently, probably to try to find someone named Ronnie. The rest of the day passes quietly for you, though. Aeolus, anything particular for you?
Aeolus would return to the establishment.
Okay. Right away after everyone splits, or later in the day?
As soon as everyone walks away.
Okay. Door's still open. Oh, got to lock that. I'm sorry, we're closed. Oh, it's. Yes. What can I help you with?
I have a question.
Yes.
Willem, he mentioned the sap of the pinwood.
What of it?
Several individuals we fought imbibed it, and it altered their form into an animalistic shape.
Peculiar. Not unheard of, such utilizations of tinctures and the like. There's a group of individuals that specialized in that, based out of Almskirk a number of years back. That type of thing. I've never heard of anyone using the ichor sap.
Aeolus will reach out and pull his mutagen vial. And it he used.
The ichor sap, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's just totally destructive. Well, on metals. I mean, I guess your stomach's not made of metal. He starts waffling back and forth.
Can I level with you for a moment?
Of course.
When you asked us what our specialties, what we were capable of,
Mm-hmm.
I need to get stronger.
Okay, you can go run laps at Blackburn. That's what they're having the recruits do tomorrow.
I don't mean stronger in that way.
Okay,
If I am able to work with the sap of the pinwood or these crystals and strengthen myself, my what I am able to create strengthens an aspect of me, but not strong enough.
Make me a deception check, please.
Sure.
You're dancing around a particular topic.
Yep.
Alright. Look, there's lots of ways to get better at things. Some of it is... Look, I run this shop. I definitely will recommend a particular avenue for you because it's business to me at the end of the day. What is your chosen implement you prefer to fight with?
Aeolus will hook the great spear, but he'll pull the silvered long sword.
Sword. Eh.
Of course. Of the group, I am one that is unable, or I don't have a necessarily strong tie to the weave. I'm able to manipulate it in some aspects. But I fear with what we're coming against, one or several of my companions are going to worry about when I again fall unconscious, rather than their own survival. And I can't have that.
Noted. Leave this with me. I'll see what I can do for you. Okay?
Understood.
And tell Storm Surge he owes me.
If there is anything I'm able to help you with as far as procurement or experiments, I will help.
Noted. I also want to know about how much Storm Surge chews you out when you tell him that you've incurred more debt for Blackburn Watch.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.
And Aeolus will make his way to the Pinwood.
Okay. Going to the Pinwood. Anything in particular?
I want to see if I can gather a vial of the sap.
Easily.
And
Sap comes by quite handily. Take a few steps in the trees and take a chop into it. I believe the group of you actually still have some axes for said purpose. One of you does.
Yeah, and I also gave the silvered spear tip to Aeolus.
Ah, perfect. Okay. So yeah, you can use the spear tip to acquire said sap.
And the last thing Aeolus that does is he's going to mix a bit of the sap with one of his mutagens and is going to stay in the Pinwood and is going to drink it.
Okay. Noted. At the moment, nothing seems to happen to you immediately. Your mutagen itself does not activate. Is this a new mutagen that you're creating? Or is this just a fuck around and find out type of situation for you?
Yes, it is a fuck around and find out. He created the intelligence one.
Okay. The moment passes. maybe about a minute, until you feel the effects of immunity sort of course through you. To your perception, they don't seem to be diminished or enhanced in any particular way. And you linger here for 40 minutes to an hour. After about an hour, the effects do fade. Even though you've chosen not to purge them from your system yourself, they do not linger beyond that time.
Okay.
Make me an Arcana check. Nice roll. Time to do it. Based on this, Aeolus, it seems that the ichor, this sap, isn't something that amplifies or changes something. It sets almost like a timer on effects.
Okay.
Like, and it leads you to believe there is something else in that which your adversaries drank that provided them said benefits, and the sap-like molasses texture that was most likely came from the pinwood was ways to prevent these effects from being permanent, as opposed to providing the effects in the first place. It looks like it might be more of a failsafe than something to augment.
Okay. Aeolus makes those notes. He will also take one of the vials he has of the green crystals.
Okay.
And will mix it with the sap. And will just spend the day in the pinwood just experimenting with his traveling alchemy kit.
You provided your vials of green crystals to Kelpip.
I thought that I gave him vellums for the purpose of Aeolus hanging on to his. Or
Okay.
at least that was my original intention.
Okay. I would have asked for a deception check earlier if I had known that you still
Okay.
had any.
Okay, then.
I was under the impression that when you said that you gave the stuff to the crystals to Kelpip, you implied that you gave all of them to Kelpip.
Okay, then.
That said, you know he has them, so if you wanted to provide him with some of the sap for said things, you could. You also know he's not a unresourceful individual. He might have already tested this. You're not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then Aeolus will just spend the day just working on his own stuff.
Okay.
And will not return to the faded gate when the rest of the group returns.
Got it. All right. The rest of the day passes for the group of you in your own manner until evening. Siegfried and Willem. Siegfried, you arrive at your parents' home. Your father is back at this point. His season has ended. And you hear the sounds of conversation and smell the food that is being served before you even enter, as you approach the door.
Willem will see like Siegfried take like a big whiff of air and kind of just like lose a little bit of the tension in his shoulders. It's good to be back.
Yeah. Home is normally a good thing.
Well, his family means something different for each of us. I'm not here to judge you, Willow. But I'm sure they'll appreciate the bacon, as I'm broke and I didn't bring anything back. Once again, thank you. Maybe I can sign my name on the card.
Oh, here. There's no need. I got some extra for us, so why don't we both present bacon here? And hands over an extra bit of bacon.
Thank you. I will go up and I'll knock on the door. I'm like, hey, it's Siegfried.
The door swings open suddenly, and you see a very small dwarf standing there with a giant smile on her face. Hi!
I lift her up in there, like, hey, Orla. Glad you've
What you
grown since
doing?
the last time I saw you.
How can you tell? You're too big. Anything particular that evening that you wanted to speak with your mother or father about?
Sorry, I got interrupted. Could you repeat that?
I said anything that that evening that you or Willem wished to speak with your mother or father about.
I would set Orla down after playing with her for a little bit and be like, mother, father, is there something? I don't want to say this in front of Orla in case it scares her.
So they'd nod, acknowledge, and you wait until she's been put to sleep for the evening.
I'm here to talk to you, mother, specifically, but I'm also here because I think our clan is in danger. And I lay out the water map and everything. And I don't tell them about like the fight or anything I have, and just said I'll just say someone is trying to poison the waters of Elderthorn. And so far they're succeeding. If no one stops them, it's gonna hurt everyone. And I turned to my mom. It's somehow connected to the Kame. It's stuff that happened here long before Elderthorn. And I just thought I could pick your brain, but also just warn you all. And I don't know, I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but I'm worried about you guys. Those workers that came to your camp for the winter, they were involved in this mess.
Really?
Yes.
The poisoning?
They didn't know about the poisoning, but they were unwittingly, at least they said, working for those doing the poisoning.
Oh. That's not good.
They were actually captured by a crew of them not so far away from our home. And I don't know what's going on, Mom. I'm trying to figure it out with my group, but I won't be here to help you if anything happens here.
Yeah, but we're taking good care of him.
That's good. There it is. Lorelei says to you, Willem. I'm not sure. Like, when I worked for the ODMC, it wasn't quite as big the operation as it is now, but not quite too far away. There were always times of the day, just sometimes the more superstitious amongst the miners would make like small offerings, a coin or like a handmade grass doll or something like they would just leave it near the edge of the trees near their camp, and it'd be gone. At least they claimed it was gone when they returned from their shift that day. And they always attributed good luck and safety on their time in the mines with leaving these offerings. Respect for the world around them, you know?
Oh, offerings. I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry. Here.
And Willem would dig out not only the bacon, but some nicely preserved spring onions.
I completely forgot to present this to you. Um, enjoy. I have a great recipe for walking bacon if you would like to know.
I don't know if I need a walking bacon, but thank you. And thank you very much for your gifts. They are appreciated.
We talked to Kelpip about these crystals they were using to poison the water. He said something about they could be used to bind Kame, to keep them in our reality.
Did
Have
anyone
you
ever
ever
want
heard
to
of
do that? Kami, all the rumors. People are superstitious for the wrong reasons. They're natural spirits. They're parts like the grasses and rocks and trees. It's they are of the land. They mean you no harm if you mean them no harm. Someone seek to bind something, bend it to their own will.
Well, Kelbib said they might be trying to help something cross over. I don't know. It's all about. Badiana was looking into this and she was killed for it.
Patty was, well, she had the moniker before she took the role. You were still young then. Um, we knew her as Batty even when we were in the watch together. In the early years. But she was not unaccomplished. She is well skilled. If whatever it is that is going on with these crystals, took her out, I want you to be careful too. And you too, Willem.
Oh,
Yes,
of course.
I just
It's a little delicate. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Will. Sorry.
I'm just feeling chatty. It feels so homely here, and I feel so comfortable. Thank you for including me.
You're welcome.
And I'll just say, try and avoid these water sources, and Dad, just be careful who you hire on in this next few seasons.
Oh, I won't need anyone until next fall anyway, so
And
I'm off for the next 7 months. It's gonna be comfortable.
just keep an eye out too. There's strange folk moving about. Just be careful.
I should probably send a note back to my family, telling them about the water as well.
Oh yes, we probably should have done that. But yes, thank you. Do you mind? Maybe I can have a few of those Kame charms. It might help us in the future. We're headed towards the Sanguine River Basin.
By all means, I have all of the ones that I've made over the last few weeks. They're hung by the door.
Right. I will go grab them, and I'll go play a song to Orla to help her get to sleep, because you know she's has her ear pressed to the door right outside, no matter what she said to you.
Yeah, I leave an offering for these charms, much as you were saying that you left them for mining.
Oh yeah, and I also tell if you hear of any miners come across these crystals, tell them absolutely under no circumstances to touch them or imbibe them in any way. They're extremely dangerous.
Okay. From what you've described, we've never come across anything like that in the mines previously. I'm not sure where.
So Willem would lay out 4 silver coins and offering for the charms.
Okay.
But yeah, after that, I just say, well, I'm just glad you guys are safe. When I heard those bandits talking about you, I got concerned.
Thank you for your concern. We can manage well enough. We're not incapable individuals. She sort of looks at her husband. Now, if you don't mind, it's quite late. We'd very much like to, I think, retire ourselves. Feel free to stay up and stoke the fire if you choose to. The two
I'll
of
be
you.
like, hey Orla, do you want me to see me turn into a monkey?
No reply.
Oh, she must be asleep. I'll just go stoke the fire then.
Anything else for the two of you that evening?
No, Willem would probably stay up, doze in the chair, enjoying the fire as long as possible before heading to bed or wherever we go.
Okay.
Maybe in the middle of the night, Siegfried would just go out into the forest and sort of place one of the kami charms. Maybe in like one of the old areas he used to play with, that he knows where Orla plays in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I'm gonna try and figure this out. I don't want to hurt the land. I don't want anyone else to hurt the land. Please keep my sister safe. And he'll hang up the charm.
Hang out on a peg. So where like a branch had broken at some point. And turn. Start wandering back. You hear the rustle of leaves. Grasses blow. Treetops sway. Shiver runs down your spine. You turn and glance at the spot where you had hung it to make sure it hadn't fallen. It's gone. It's not on the ground.
Yeah. He'll just smile to himself and then turn around and he'll start whistling the Bloody Mad Dogs theme song as he goes back to the house.
Okay, how does it go? I want to know.
I don't think I could write a real song. I
like-
can't even whistle in real life.
It's like if you mix together It's a Small World and She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain.
Yeah, basically.
Can somebody build it out? Marcus, can you do the you found the logo.
We have stuff.
Sorry.
He wants you to sing the Bloody Mad Dogs theme song for us.
Better not.
All right. The evening is comfortable in the cozy interior of your family home, Siegfried. Your family's home, pardon me. The next day comes to you all. Two of you set out back towards Elderthorn. The following morning, does Dunnan Hallarest or Hallarest, do either of you have anything that you wanted to accomplish that morning?
And Dunnan would do something, yes.
What will it be?
Nah.
I'll let the ladies go first if you want.
Nah, nothing. Just rest as much as possible. We'll just be as lazy as absolutely allowed.
Well, Dunnan would do his daily routine, maintaining gear, getting set up everything. And after this is finished, he's gonna get out and go into, I don't know if the Faded Gate Inn has like a backyard or a secluded area where nobody sees him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will.
There's spaces that you know about town that fit that. There's less people out back, but you're also in full view of some of the fields behind the Faded Gate. Although you're not sure if anyone's working them too early in the morning.
Okay, so he would go to one of these areas and just say then, all right, now let's try this. And he will sit down and cross his legs and will concentrate for 10 minutes. And will cast Find Steed.
Ooh. Nice.
And after like 10 minutes, you see like a big German Shepherd-like dog appear. And you go over to the dog and say, all right, you're no companion now. I'll call you Bloody Puppy for now.
Bloody.
Oh, the others will be surprised. Oh.
Sort of cocks its head at you. The ears sort of flop a little bit.
It's like dire wolf size, let's say. Like not like a typical German Shepherd.
No. It would be
smiles bigger.
if its ears were like rigid, it would be immensely terrifying. But the ears are the only thing that sort of betrays sort of a more benign nature to it, at least at the moment.
Are they floppy?
A little bit floppy.
Are they good?
And so it sticks his tongue out at you, then licks your face.
I'll go and pet him. So, never use this. Can I dismiss him for the moment, or does he stay?
Yeah, so you can dismiss him and recall him if I remember the spell accurately. Statistic version, blah blah blah. Seed serves you mount. Mounted, blah blah blah. When Steed drops there, you can also dismiss your speed at any time as an action, causing you to disappear. In that case, casting the spell again. So no. So you can. So you can't make it sort of disappear and reappear.
Done well.
Yeah.
Then he stays for now. All right, come on. Let's catch up with the others. Be a good boy. You're gonna love William's walking bacon. I'll make sure he makes some more for you because I think you're gonna be
Starts
very
panting.
hungry.
Yeah. Starts panting.
Good boy. Come on
Speaking
now.
of bacon, Willem would probably spend the day, if possible, not only making a large batch of walking bacon, but would slowly smoke that pork shoulder using chilies and seasonings, pepper, etc.
Now you have me hungry. But
I can tell you in detail how to do it.
yeah. The gesture's appreciated. Do you set out in the morning back towards Elderthorn in that case then? Or do you get a little bit of a later start because of that?
For Willem, he would probably do it in town.
Okay, in town. Alright, so once you get back.
But it will be an all-day task. Would probably do it behind the inn if possible.
Okay. Alright. That's not the right button. Pardon me. I'm clicking the wrong things. The bacon getting set and nice and smoked. The day passes for you. Hours drag by, sort of twiddle your thumbs, especially you Hellerast, waiting for the evening when you can go pick up your splint. Does anyone have anything that they want to accomplish during the day once you are all back together?
No, I would just let people know that I'm in town, and I might go help out with some of the Blackwatch training. I know the casters are a little bit short on veterans, so if they have any sort of training going on, go help with them if I have any downtime.
Nice. Okay. Roll me a performance check with advantage and an athletics check, please. And then a constitution save.
Both with advantage?
No, performance with advantage, those two straight rolls. Performance advantage, then con save athletics check.
So here's the performance.
Okay.
And then athletics. Ooh.
Con save.
Con save.
Pretty good. Okay. So you definitely command that presence over the course of the day, helping out a little bit, especially with the other recruits, albeit they are essentially at the same rank as you, even though they're newly inducted recruits, and you've been in for a while now.
Mhm.
But that still commands a little bit of gravitas and presence with them, in the sense that you've been around the block a little bit longer than they have, so you're still slightly their senior. You don't have the best time, like, sort of matching some of them, but you do hang with it, despite being a little bit outclassed in some of the sparring and everything. Roll me 4d12, please. You're paid 31 silver for the assistance. That was above and beyond what you were required to do as part of your role.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell them when I'm back in town, I'll try to do this more often.
Hellerest. As evening comes and the sun starts to set, you head over to Amberbraid Armorers.
Okay. And she'll just knock on the lintel. Back in the back, where Emil is. She's not even gonna go see her brother.
Hi. I got it finished a few hours ago. Hopefully it's right. Let's get you off of crappy stuff you're already wearing. The same gambeson should still work though. She asks you to undress so that way she can fit the armor onto you.
Okay. So she definitely does so. Gets down to regular clothing, but not like naked. 'Cause it needs to fit up clothing.
Yeah, and you have clothing, and then there's a padded gambeson. It's made out of like layers of woven fabric that have been stitched together, like almost quilted.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
quite thick, but it provides the padding to protect you from the metal that you were already wearing.
Correct.
And then on top of that goes the splint, because you can't put this any type of metal armor directly on your actual clothing.
Absolutely.
So she has you like raise your arms, and she helps adjust some of the gambesons to so that way they fit a little bit more snugly in the right places and everything. And then helps you don the splint armor. It takes, with help, about 5 minutes to put on this armor in full. And that's with practiced hands of a smith. That this is essentially their job. They know how this gear works. With help from your companions, it'll take you about 10 minutes to don or doff this armor, and it is not quiet. So be aware of that. Doing it yourself, maybe 20 minutes to take off this armor in the evenings. It is not easy armor to put on or take off. But once all of the straps are secured in the right places, Emil takes the same sort of black wax pen that she was using previously, like when she was marking your measurements, and goes around on the heavy leather straps and makes marks on the buckles as to where the correct secure places are for anyone else who's assisting you, so they know where to like secure it underneath one armpit before they even move to the other one or anything like that, so they know roughly where everything is correct, at least on the initial fitting. Once it's all set, it's comfortable. while wearing splint armor, your AC is fixed to 17. You get no dexterity bonus. You have disadvantage on stealth.
Okay.
Give me one moment. I'm going to add splint to your inventory.
Kelly's taking a mental note to teach Willem how to do this. She's going to conscript him into being her.
Dunnan is probably pretty good at putting armor on and off too.
Yeah, but she wants Willem to know.
Not Dunnan.
He's the squire.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Dunnan is already a knight and would be very disrespectful.
Yes. He might give some advice from afar, but
So you'll notice I've unticked the Blackburn breastplate.
yes.
And the shield. Now you can still wield a shield with this, which would increase your AC to 19. That said, you can't wield the shield and the spellfire short bow at the same time.
Right, because the spellfire's two hands.
Yeah, and it's a bonus action to correctly affix the shield to your arm if it's not already equipped.
Right.
So like trying to drop, like stow the bow and then affix the shield, like it takes a full round to basically swap that out. So
Right.
In the dark, you're usually going to be looking at about a 17 AC, unless you have something else that's giving you a bonus. Or if you choose to go with shield instead of the spellfire short bow, you're going up to a 19.
Okay.
And it is heavy armor, so
Yeah.
you get that benefit too.
Awesome.
Then, if you don't mind, just click stealth for me. I want to see if it automatically rolls the disadvantage. Sometimes
where?
the sheet it's in your skills, second from the bottom. Perfect. It'll automatically throw a disadvantage on there, because of your heavy armor. So, and if I put your sheet to advantage and then we roll a stealth check, it'll still do the disadvantage roll, but we'll just mitigate that on the call and just use the first number in that case.
Okay. That's like if somebody is casting Pass Without Trace or something like that.
Pass Without's a flat plus 10. But like
Okay.
if for some reason you have advantage, such as
Like if I put enhanceability on you.
yeah, enhanceability, if Willem casts darkness and you're trying to not be seen, or silence and you're trying to not be heard, things like that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
She's never been very quiet anyway, so.
Yeah. Roll me. I need a Constitution save from you as well, please.
Okay.
Pretty good. Over about the next half hour, Emil puts you through some paces with the armor. She has you sort of do rolls, tumbles, sprint, get up from lying flat on your back, get up from lying flat on your chest, to sort of get you used to how this armor shifts and moves with your body. It feels like you're wearing sort of a shell for a little while until you start getting used to it, and then you realize she took some very accurate measurements, and it seems to feel like it moves naturally once it's all properly affixed to you. It's not unwieldy in any way, like you feel like you're still able to accomplish all of your normal tasks. You're just not quiet. It's just the only drawback.
That's noisy as hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like while it is heavy, the weight's spread out appropriately, especially with the heavy belt that Emil put together with it. So the weight sits comfortably. And you have that.
Okay.
After she puts you through the paces and you're not quite exhausted, but definitely sweating, Emil will mention him. That should keep you fairly well protected. Even up in the front. The only thing that we're missing, that I'm not sure if you wanted or not, is a helm to go with it. I noticed you didn't wear one previously, so I didn't go about procuring one. But if you wanted one, just let Andre know, and they'll price one out for you. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. I very much appreciate this. I feel good, and you're the first person who's ever put me through my paces in new armor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I imagine you probably worked out in the breastplate armor. That's some. Oh, okay. Never mind. Got it. New armor. I get it. I think she
Yes.
seems a bit flustered. But just try to not take too many direct blows. Like, well, at Splint, you saw what your friend did to it with that stupid ball he carries around. Like, it's not impervious to everything. It should keep you safe, but the damage is gonna go somewhere. You'd prefer it to go to your armor than your body, but
Yes.
that doesn't mean it's not there. So be smart.
Hilarast is going to get down on one knee and just take Emil's hand, put her forehead to her hand, and say thank you. A little bit intimate, but still appropriate in the situation as far as gratitude is concerned.
Appropriate or appropriately creepy?
Appropriate. Thank you, Willem. Sort of almost like fealty, a little bit. A little bit more like, thank you, my lady, I will now protect you with my life, but not quite. But she is also just curious to see what Emil will do with that kind of touch.
She doesn't pull away. Like runs her thumb along the side of your face for a moment, like a pat. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I hope it serves you well, though. Takes her hand back. It should. And I hope Dunnan's more reliable to not be hitting the armor this time around.
Yes, and now I go see what else I can do for the people of Elderthorn.
Careful, they never stop asking.
Yes, I'm aware. She's just gonna go saunter on out.
Your evening is comfortable after that, and I think that's where we're going to pick up next session with anything else that needs to happen that evening.
Awesome. Thank you.